Cool, guys. All right,
Yeah.
listen, it is June 12th, 2024. It is 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I'm looking forward to carving in with everybody here tonight, man. We've got some superstars on. Excited to rip this tonight. Before we do, guys, just remember there's a few important things down at the bottom. You got your reactions button. Feel free to, stick your hand up or whatever. We're going to end up probably with 20 or 30, 40 people on here at some point coming up here shortly. So what we want to make sure of is to keep it organized. And then, of course, you've got the chat window down at the bottom. Feel free to chat with anybody independently or as a group. Just a couple of reminders there. And then I know that Goulash is going to kick us off for a regular roundup or roundtable meeting here that we're going to do. And so you're going to kick that thing off, right, Goulash? Let's go, buddy. You know how it goes, man. Let's do it. Kick it off. Man.
Stand up. That is required in here.
Let's go, everyone. Stand up.
I see you. You're not standing up.
I agree.
All right, guys.
You're not standing. You're not
Stand to the right.
Oh my
Stand to the
goodness.
left. 10 ups. Let's go.
Let's go. Johnny Bublich is looking at us like
Oh
we're
my
mad,
goodness.
right, bro?
I gotta warm into it. What are we doing?
Dude, we got to go 10 to the left, 10 to the right, 10 up and down. Let's go, bud. You know how it goes, man.
Oh man.
Go.
Woo! Let's go, guys. All right. You know why? Just we're different, man.
Man, I just got done working outside. If I had to get up and do that, I'd probably black out. I just seal coated for like 12 straight hours.
Dude, can I just bring you on Spotlight with me right now? Can we have a conversation, Johnny?
Yeah, you can.
All right, cool. This is going to be fun,
doing,
man. I'm good, brother. I'm good. So, dude, I remember how many years ago was that? Was that 4 years ago?
Yeah, well, it was January 2021 is when I started my LLC.
And you had told me a story, man, about your journey, about you ended up getting into a nasty accident, right?
Yeah, when I was 19, I broke both my legs.
And the doctors were like, they told you you weren't going to walk again or something. What did
Yeah,
they tell
there's
you?
a high chance of it. Yeah, but like I knew I was gonna, But like, yeah, no, it's like walking. It's like gotta walk. So it's like if I could set my mind to one thing, it'd be walking.
So you ended up not just walking again, but what did you end up doing? Because I'm remembering the story, but you ended up going out into the woods, man, and like doing some backcountry wild adventures and stuff, didn't you, dude?
Yeah. Well, that's how I go hiking every year. I hike like 500 miles a year. It kind of turned into my thing. Like once like I couldn't walk and then I started walking again. Like I just started hiking. So I hike lots. I summit mountains all the time. And that's kind of where I got the idea for Wyoming Asphalt Repairs when I was telling you about that, because it was nice getting off of the asphalt and getting all that hiking outdoors. And then it was like, man, the whole world is asphalt, That's
and then
yeah, kind of how that started.
and then you started rocking jiu-jitsu, right? You started doing MMA.
Yep. Yeah. So I've been a professional fighter since 2007. And so yeah, and now I just do competitive jiu-jitsu. I compete at like ADCC and all over the US. Kind of just fly all over in the wintertime I just basically train, and then I work a lot in the summer, but I still train all summer. But then like I just go and I compete basically all fall and winter.
I love that we're here right now, man. This is super cool.
Yeah,
this is super cool, dude. I remember there was a webinar. You remember the webinar I was hosting? I think you're like a celebrity now, by the way. Do people reach out to you and they're like, who's Johnny?
Oh man,
like,
and it gets so busy. It got so busy, like I liked keeping in touch and doing this stuff and everything. And then it got to where I just kind of had like between jujitsu and seal coating, I just had to like kind of almost like just
disappear.
Straight arrow focus and get selfish and just only focus on myself. And my wife, she was really understanding of it, because now there's a lot of work-life balance. I got to figure it out. I have the same crew that I've had for a few years now. And like they're out there seal coating without me now. This just started, very recently, to where like we've built up a team over the last few seasons. And like I keep them on throughout the winter and we shovel snow and stuff. But so now they can like seal coat and crack fill and do all that without me, to where I don't have to be there every hour of every day.
You built a nice business, brother.
Yeah, it's going good, you know, and we get a lot of big jobs at HOAs, you know, roads and government contracts and stuff. So it helps out keeping payroll fresh, you know, is having those big customers, you know.
This is your fourth season right now? Fourth?
Yeah, yep, this is my 4th year. Yeah,
What would be
last
your
year we kind of like had this insane year where we like quadrupled in sales. Like, and it was like awesome, right? It was the dream, but it was like, I don't even know if I have time to do all this. But you know, I signed like so many contracts. It's just like, well, we'll just never take a day off, you know. And we made it, like we got it all done, but you know, it was quite the experience growing so much in one season.
Wow. For people who are actually like starting out in year 1, and let's say they're in year 2, what would be your best advice for guys that are in the year 1 and year 2 right now?
Don't spend it. Like, don't spend your money. Like, I just like don't spend it because like once like you get like a big contract, like you got to have like money for material or whatever. Like be ready for like not spending it. Like, don't spend your money. Like,
I'm a
keep it.
huge fan of that, dude.
Yeah, because like all of a sudden one day I was just like, and I have, you know, I still have my Asphalt Kingdom seal coat tank, and it works great and everything. But all of a sudden one day I signed this contract for like
Massive.
150,000 square feet, and I was like, oh man. So I
Like
had to go get a
700.
500. Yeah, well, I went and got a
500.
550 because of road restrictions in my area.
Yeah.
Right. That's why. Because I like to pull the 550 because then I just fly under the radar of weight, you know, and then you can just bring have a truck coming behind you with totes full. But then I'm not like over the 26,000 pounds when I stay with a 550-gallon tank. And then that's the main reason of it. But those 550s are great. The 700, it would be great. Don't get me wrong. It would be so much more convenient having a 750.
Dude, I want to touch on something, man, that you said, and I'm just a huge believer in that you should not spend it.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean by that is you should fucking invest it, man. Like,
yeah,
don't spend it, invest it. And
in
so
your
you have
company, yeah,
in your company, invest into yourself. And it's like, guys, listen, if we all had a crystal ball and we could go back 2 years and invest into NVIDIA, right? Who makes graphic cards, we'd all be sitting here with different pocketbooks if we threw 100 grand each into NVIDIA. But I'll tell you what, man, I'm not going to rely only on other companies to be able to make returns on my investments, man. I
yeah,
want to focus 95% of all my investments in things that I can really control and that I know are smart investments. And
yeah,
so
like
when
an
you're in your,
infrared heater.
yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Like my ability to fix a pothole for real rather than just filling it with hot mix is a cool fix. Like, don't get me wrong, it's cheaper than cold patch. But like if you have an infrared machine and you can do it for real, like I work for the city and I work for the county, and they'll be like, you know, go down to this older powder town. The city paid me to do 200 potholes last year in the busy section of town because you know I have a hot box and I can fill that
That
up.
infrared. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
That's awesome, man.
yeah.
No, we can see you. We can see you. So that's, I think that's a really great segue, man, into some of our conversations here from, you know, let's focus on investing in our businesses instead of having things that are going to be, you know, perceived as spending or costing or these kind of
Yeah,
things.
and that's
right?
what I mean by that, because I spend all of my money into my business and I just keep growing it and growing it. But like, yeah, like I don't pay myself necessarily, you know? Like that's what I mean on it. Like, don't go on trips. Like, don't waste your money on going out to eat. Like, buy equipment that can make you sales. And we just keep growing. Like, I have, you know, several line stripers. I have a couple infrared heaters. It's like the more you can do, the bigger projects you can do.
I appreciate these insights. This is a golden nugget, guys. Raise your hand if you think that that's a smart tactic, is to invest into yourself, invest into your business to grow it, right? Like, see Skylar's double hands up, dude. Like, that's the real deal, man. And by the way, you guys, you got to go check out John on Johnny Bublich on YouTube as well. There's some badass fights of him rocking it. I know you're so humble there, man, but dude, you're a badass human being, man. And I think about you often. And you're inspiring, man, to go through the pain that you've gone through, and then to go out and do the trekking and traveling and the hunts that you do. And then also to be building a business that you can be proud of with your family, man. I'm giving you full props. Much respect to you, brother.
Thank you. Yeah. And you guys are a lot of help, when I first got going, and I was just trying to do driveways in the beginning, and now, like, Monday, I'm starting a 230,000 square foot road. And it's like, just build one job after another, and just figure it out. Take notes, take notes and just learn.
That's cool, man. Appreciate you. Cool. Well, let's keep rocking around the board here, man. I'm excited to bring this up. I know Skylar wants to just start talking about investments as well right now after coming back from a wild show. Actually, let's just do it, Skylar. Dude, tell us about what it was like for you at this last event that you were just at, man. Spill the beans, bro. Let's share it with everyone, and maybe help other people to take away some golden nuggets that they can take notes of, as John just said. Let's go, bro.
Yeah, so I spent the last 48 hours with, it didn't really hit me until I was driving home, once I realized how much money was actually in the room. Tommy, he was up on stage. He's got $400 million sitting in his bank account, a business that'll be worth $1 billion in the next 2 years, and a business that'll be worth like 30 in the next 5.
In the service-based business world, just everyone. So yeah, give the full scope, bro.
Yeah, service-based business. So it was roughly 100 contractors from, all over US and Canada that flew into Philadelphia. And we were in a really, really nice hotel in a conference room, and we just went over all service-based business stuff. And I thought it was really, really comical, because the way he described his business is a way a lot of guys in the asphalt industry describe their business. Where people always say, hey, this isn't going to happen. Or, he's in garage doors, and he was like, nobody in my industry and everybody, he's like, the successful guys are HVAC and plumbing and this and that. And he's like, so you know what I did? He's like, I studied the guys that had $100 million HVAC and plumbing businesses. And all I did was implemented the same processes. And, here I am today. And just really the way their brains work to the way our brains work is crazy, because everything to them is just completely business. To them is a math equation. It's not about employees. They might talk about hiring and recruiting and doing those things, but to them, every single move that they make is complete math. And they just have a lot of people collecting data and collecting math all day long. And it's just insane, the amount of leverage too, right? The things that they implement at that scale is insane, where everybody's like, oh, we're going to hire good salesmen, increase our close rate. He has technology that's on every single salesman that grades tonality, that grades talk ratio, that grades all these things on a constant basis, that's constantly changing the algorithm. And you'll see oh, this guy's closing at 70%. And that's, say the top 3 are 70, 65, 60. And then everybody's 30 and under. And then all of a sudden he implements this process, and it's 70, 69, 68, 67, and they're all hanging right around that guy, because they're seeing what's working, and they're just copying and implementing. There was so many, I don't even know where to start. There was so many takeaways, but the amount of opportunity where, things come into place, and just understanding your bottom line and what a private equity firm is actually looking for, and really multipliers and things like that. Really, he says, and I very much believe that he will be the largest publicly traded company that's in home service. The first was Terminex, and it was a 30x multiple. He'll be the second publicly traded home service company at roughly, I think he said 32 multiple. which, he'll be diluted down to 22% equity and have a $3 billion exit for the third time. So, it was amazing. I was actually, Lance Bachman was there too. He owns a private equity firm. He had 4 exits of $20 to $30 million a piece. So it was really, really interesting to speak to him from one SEO and to roofing, to HVAC, to a bunch of different things. And he had some times too, like, he had a big security breach in his business that almost bankrupted him at the first company. And he was in a huge class action lawsuit to literally ready to file bankruptcy. But what I'm getting at here, it was all about the room. He was ready to lose it all, and he got in the right room with the right people and people that were doing big business. And literally each and every time, one SEO, he exited 18 months later. He bought an HVAC company next. He got in the room with Travis Ring. He owns a huge HVAC company. They were actually at a networking event like this, and they started chatting about his American flag shorts. He starts talking to him and starts realizing the potential. And he's like, holy shit, I can exit my company right now for $27 million. And, he called Travis Ring's connection and, right there, another exit. And I just the possibility that's there and how kind of easy it is. And you don't need to do it at a large scale. A lot of people think, I think that was another eye-opening thing, right? A lot of people are like, oh, I got to grow this business and sell it. And, it's not about selling the whole business. It's about holding on to a small piece of a bigger pie. So, having multiple exits on a business, was super eye-opening. I mean, even with Tommy's first exit, he had $100 million, which was about 20% that he gave away to 25 people inside of his company that made, millionaires. So it was very, very crazy. There was so much I could go on. Perspective of money, right? I was breaking down his income to a minute amount, and he gave me 15 minutes one-on-one private that we spoke. And I was like, holy shit, that just cost him $17,000 to sit there and talk to me. It's crazy when you think about that perspective and just how it works, and taking chips off the table early was the biggest thing that he kind of really drilled down on as well, was get in the right rooms with people that are successful, because if not, you're not going to be successful. And he's like, I'm not talking $1 million too. He's like, find people that are doing 10, 20, 30, $40 million that have had really successful exits and get in those rooms. And then from there was take more chips off the table. You don't need to exit $400 million on one. He really said, he was like, Skylar, you take a $2 million exit. It really sunk into me. I still think about this. He was like, you take a $2 million exit from a minority share of your company. You put that in a Goldman Sachs account. And he was like, it kicks off 10% for the rest of your life. You have no stress. You can pay your bills. Then grow and scale your business. He's like, that's how you do it. He's like, you can't fight all these fronts and think you're going to have work-life balance and try and struggle and do your home bills and your home life and this and that. And he's like, get your bills automated, then take it to the moon and have somebody with a large piggy bank that's going to fuel it.
So I love this because I think that it's a really important piece of exactly what we're navigating in this life, right? It's all right, cool. So the past is the past up until where we are. I say this over and over again, right? The past is the past up until where we are in this live conversation right now. There might be, a millisecond delay or whatever with some Zoom connections or whatever it is, but we're pretty much live right now. Raise your hand if you can hear me live right now, right? All right, cool. So we're all live right now. You just heard what Skylar said, right? So you've painted everything from the past onto a canvas to where you are in the ultimate present. Everybody agree with that? That's all on a canvas, right? And so right now in your ultimate present, there are going to be things that are going to be action that takes place. There's an energetic, diabolic type moment that takes place that then triggers your mental thought process to start to go down a pathway of exploration. And doing that all alone based upon something that takes place is navigating and being creative and innovative, or it can get foggy and overwhelming and stressful and confusing and all of that. And so what happens is for most of us is that we hear what you just said, but it's like, I'm just going to go back to the canvas that I'm used to, man, because that's comfortable for me. And even though it's painful and I'm not exactly super happy, like at that ultimate type level that I know I could be, I'm just going to go back to it and be comfortable there because frankly, being lost on my own in the fog, which is scary to me, is not worth leaving what I have right now, which is my magnetic average. And so we end up in a spot where we have to make an ultimatum. Are we willing to actually do whatever it takes and to put ourselves around people that are going to help us to get to where we truly desire to go, and that we're willing to experience that pain and we're willing to sacrifice and do the things that are allowing us to get there? Or are we willing to sacrifice that to go back to our magnetic average and just be doing what we're doing here? Frankly, every single day that I wake up, there's sacrifices that I put in. I know my wife's probably sitting right, oh no, she's gone, but I sacrifice so much, man, like so much, right? So much. I sacrifice my sleeping in the morning so that I can, get out there and go for a 4 o'clock run in the morning in the dark and like work on myself physically so that I can stand by a computer for 8 hours, sometimes 9 hours, 12 hours, 14 hours. I do that so I can build that. I work hard and do the roundtables so that I can pour into people, because ultimately by pouring into all of you and making you more successful will hopefully help build our business and the lifetime value, which is what's going to build value in my organization. The more successful I make you guys, the more successful we hope to be. There's more case studies, more stories. Look at Johnny Bublich, man. I remember on a video when he was doing that webinar like together, and I called him up and he came live and he's like, I thought that they were actors. You remember that, John? You remember that? I thought that they were actors, but then I realized they weren't. And it's like that pivotal point, that moment allowed for Johnny to create a trajectory, a direction that allowed him to build a better life. So I ask everybody on the screen right now, straight up, if you're super content with where you are and you have no dreams and aspirations beyond where you are right now, cool. If you're happy with that, you've achieved it. Congratulations. I haven't. And I'll be vulnerable. I have so much more to do. And unless I'm surrounding myself with people that are going to make me level up to that next level, unless I'm reading the books and listening to audiobooks, unless I'm hiring people that are A players coming into my company at the top, if I'm not doing that stuff, then I'm not achieving the dreams that I desire in my life, which is a multi-generational legacy that I desire to leave behind. We're in the pavement industry, everyone. Do you know how much asphalt's out there right now? And our mindset is set based upon what you've learned in the past to where you are in the ultimate moment. And that's what you've been programmed to be. So I ask you, when's the breakout moment for you guys? I'll tell you this, man, my breakout moment was when I sold my company and I moved to Anguilla and I built an online business that now caters to thousands of people every year and helping them build thriving businesses in the same industry that we're all in. It just took a mental breakout to understand that I could do that. You guys are in a massive industry. We're in a massive industry, and there's an opportunity for you guys to scale if you desire to scale. But you have to be willing to open up the vault to look inside to see what's beyond it.
And Judd, can I add on that too? Like
let's go, bud.
The vault was the perfect lead in and that type of stuff, right? Like, don't you get hung up on all of that shit I just spewed out of my mouth as your end. Like, I was challenged when I came back here. They were like, Skylar, if you didn't go through what you went through over the past couple months here with Asphalt Kingdom, with doing the thing, with putting in this work, with understanding your business on a higher level, would you have been ready to be in that room? And I was like, not a chance, bro. I was like, when I'm sitting there with someone that operates at that level and he's spitting out questions and I can answer every question like that, it's because I put in the work the past 6 months, 9 months, whatever it's been, really last couple years, but like really, really detailed and really, really on it endlessly for the past couple months. Like, if I would have went there a year ago, I probably would have sounded like an asshole and he wouldn't have gave me 5 minutes. He would have been like, what are you saying, bro? Why are you here? Like, yeah, that's cool. You want to grow your business? I can help you. But like, I got to go to a next level, and don't get caught up on that. Cause like, it goes back to the Anguilla trip, just 3 steps ahead. You don't need to look, you just 3 steps ahead. You don't need to look 100 steps ahead. You need to worry about like the next 3 steps and master those. And once you take those 3 steps, take the next 3 steps after that, and then take the next 3 steps. But don't get hung up on the complete end. Understand your trajectory and your target and your end goal, but don't try and, eat the whole elephant at one bite, whatever analogy you want to use. Understand what's in front of you. And if you're just starting, learn how to sell and create profit first, and then learn how to hire an employee, and then learn how to hire a management team, and then learn how to cash, cycle cash and all of these things. You don't need to worry about the super end at the beginning, but like, take the next couple steps and really truly learn and understand your business. Like, I know what it's like to go from ground zero, leveraging every dollar in my bank account, to starting something, to growing to 7 figures, to leaving, to redoing it again in a product-based business and a service-based business. If you would have asked me these questions, put me in this room years ago, I would have been clueless.
Yep.
Got to put in today's required work. We got to learn how to sell today. We got to learn how to go to the next level. We got to learn how to implement a management team. We got to learn how to get to these places, and then take
one step at a time.
Yeah.
One step at a time. So let's bring this in. And by the way, for those of you that do not know Skylar, just letting you know, he's not passionate at all about building the crap out of businesses and helping people do it. I'm kidding. He's like one of the most passionate people I've ever met. It's why I love you, man, is that you believe with conviction exactly what it is that and what you're saying is the reality of how you're going to grow. It's the bottom line. So let's go. Let's do this. All right, here we go. For those of you that are not on camera, you should come on camera. And by the way, you guys are the ones that are here right now investing into your future, right? So this is an open board. Let's open up the round table right now to questions, and just address it to whoever you want on the screen. Address it to the group. Just say this is a group action or whatever it is. But what I'd like to do is open this up to some questions that are important. Anthony Bison, good to see you in the truck over there, buddy. So good to see you, bud. So let's go, man. Questions. And you can type it into the comments down below as well. But I don't care where you are in the journey. Let's ask some hard freaking questions. Let's go deep, guys, and let's pull this out, and let's try and build some growth here. Let's go.
What's up, fellas? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Everett, let's go, bud.
Hey, just want to know, I've been to Asphalt for a minute, but I want to see if anybody can give me some recommendations for somebody who's just starting out, some tips and do's and don'ts.
Got so much advice, Everett. So much advice. I know other people on here too.
I guess I would challenge you. What are the current things, ask the question of what you're struggling with right now. It's a very broad question, so I could go down a rabbit hole or go down a track that isn't helping you, but like, what are your 3 pain points currently? And I'd be glad to answer the questions and help you out and give you advice.
Well, I'm just getting started, so I've been making some cold calls, so right now just getting some business pretty much. I've been going after some facility management companies. I want to try to stay more on the commercial side instead of the mom and pop stuff. So I want to know, if you guys think that's a good route, or do I need to be hitting some neighborhoods up? But just trying to fill my pipeline up right now is the main thing I'm trying to do right now, and get some cash flowing.
I would say the easiest quick answer, and I'm going to keep rolling off of these 2 days of energy because I'm fired up, but it's, if you're not making 100 calls a day yet, start doing that. Just do 100x. Like, when you come to realize that that's all business is a high scale, is just 100 times. Like, if you think you're posting 2 videos a week and you're going to get famous, post 100. Learn how to post more content. Like, if you think you're going to get rich and sell a lot, you need to make 100 calls instead of 10. Like, and that is the easiest, and 100% focus there. Like, don't go down the rabbit hole of spending a ton of money yet. Get a bunch of pending jobs that allow you to spend money. I'd rather you call and be like, hey guys, I need a 550 unit. I got $150,000 lined up. Or you call somebody in the industry and you subcontract it out because you don't want to deal with the headache. Like,
that's the direction, Skylar, that Everett's going, is super broker angle on this. So We've had
100%.
some discussions.
We have a
We've
team.
had some private meetings about this stuff, and Everett is literally on the verge of a massive breakout in the pavement asset management industry. And he also, you know, we have the network to be able to execute on these big projects. Like, Everett, don't think for a second, don't be scared to go and actually go out and hunt those bigger jobs right now. Understand the language, understand the pipeline, understand the 5-step close, understand pavement assessments, the things that we teach. Literally, just focus on those things. Go out there and close some deals. And if you're pre-closing a deal, you probably want to get on with somebody who's going to be a performance partner that you can work with to execute on those deals. It's going to be a very important thing. So you're not pricing blind, but you actually have someone that can execute with you as a performance partner. People love to work with great people. Great people should be teaming up to be able to execute and build their businesses, period.
Everett, so you, I think you responded to my messages too about the handouts. Those were from me. So,
Oh, okay. I was like,
yeah.
who is this guy? This guy's sending me all this
Yeah, you
asphalt
emailed
stuff.
me?
I'm like, who is this guy? He never even
But-
answered me back.
Yeah, if you see the chat there too, we do have a mobile team that is together that's handling some national work. So all over the place. It's a huge push of us right now. So we'd love to have performance partners so you don't got to feel alone in the industry. We've come to realize that majority of contractors that are selling work that want to become super brokers are having problems finding reliable and dependable contractors to execute a job flawlessly. And we're here to fill those needs. So if you sell stuff, you know, feel free to reach out, and we'd be more than happy to help you execute the work. And of course, you'd have a dependable team that'll make sure the project's done at, you know, flawlessly. So
Everett,
so who do I got to
that
reach
meeting,
out to, Skylar?
that you're going to reach out. I believe you were communicating with, was it Robert Wallace?
Yeah, Robert, you're right.
Set up a meeting with Robert Wallace for Skylar to hop on. Skylar and myself can hop on with you, but it's time, bud. You're there. You're right
it's
there,
a wrap.
Everett. You're
It's a
right
wrap.
there, bud.
Trust.
Let's knock it out of the park, man. You're right there. Yep.
Appreciate
Let's
it.
build this thing. And by the way, just to elaborate, like when Skylar said 100x, like, let's face it, guys. Let's face it. The majority of people in the industry don't even answer their phones. I'm going to say it time and time and time again. How many guys are on here right now? How many people on the screen right now on the round table leveling up, straight up? How many people are on here? 15? You get my drift, guys. You get my drift. I know a lot of people are busy too, but this industry, how many asphalt maintenance and repair companies do you think exist in North America? If you were to take a guess, if you threw a dart at the wall. Matt Phillips, how many do you think? If you were to throw a dart at the wall? 100,000 of them? 100,000 companies, maybe? Anthony Bison,
Sorry.
how many do you think?
Sorry, Judd. I was getting a phone call just as you asked me that question, so I had to send him to voicemail.
Yeah.
Just in my town, I'm in a small town, about 45,000 people, maybe 50,000 now, just because of the growth we've been experiencing. And there's 4 pavement asset guys here, but during the summer months, we get inundated with another 3 to 6 traveling asphalt maintenance guys. So there's quite a bit, but it's the repeat and just being that professional and branding and marketing. And then, you know, I just was looking at my numbers, and almost 200,000 in receivables since May 15th. So
you're growing, even though there's more people that are coming into the market on that lower end of the spectrum. You're finding you're having growth, right?
Oh yeah. Year after year, just increasing. And in fact, I'm on chat with Skylar. I've got some jobs in Phoenix or in Page, Arizona, that normally I would go and do it, but I'm so busy here with my repeat customers. You know, it's that I don't know that I can make it over there. So I want to find somebody that can take care of those properties for me over there, but be quality and know what they're doing.
Yeah, we would love to do it. We're actually we'll probably be taking a trip out there because HQ of one of the guys that we're with over the past 2 days is out in Phoenix anyway, so it might work out
Let's
that
go.
we're there anyway. So
Yeah.
the hell, brother.
But you guys get my drift, right? There's people who are not on here tonight because they're super busy growing their businesses, and I high five those people. And we know that we can't make it every night. I can't make it every round table. But the reality of it is, guy, as a whole, you guys get my drift on this push, right? You get my drift, right? Cool. It's your guys' opportunity. It's your market share. It's your time to level up, right? That's what it's all about right now. That's what it's about, guys. And so I ask you
Hey,
guys.
Judd,
Yeah, Phil, Matt, let's go.
sorry, I'm just, I mean, as busy as I am right now, I mean, I missed a couple weeks, the last couple weeks, but I try to bounce on. But really, I'm on here for golden nuggets. Something that you do, like Skylar's marketing stuff. I mean, I've got some marketing stuff, but just some additional stuff that he's, threw out. And like, yeah, I can implement that, and I can start getting more business. And so just golden nuggets. So anybody that's starting out, whether they're a broker and just farming it out, or if they're actually a producer, so where they're doing it, find out what you're good at. If like we can seal coat, we can put down seal coat. And I've aligned, I think I talked about this last week. I've aligned with a crack seal company that just all they do is crack seal. So now we're trading off and keeping each other busy with it. And they're
So good.
They're proficient at crack seal. And so it is just whatever your market is or whatever you're doing, just focus on it, concentrate on it, and just grow your business.
Couldn't agree more. Any questions, guys, on any of this? Any challenges? Come on, anything. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. I'll tell you my challenge. You know what my challenge is, guys? Having like more people that are on here that are superstars, man. Let's get more on here. Let's build the community, guys. Bring more people and let's build the community. Let's bring some high level. Remember, it's our circle is our future, right? Like let's level this up, man. Skylar, you got your hand up, buddy. Dommy, come on.
It's coming from Dommy. I got a question, and it's something that we're really trying to figure out here. And maybe there is someone here that can help us or point us in the right direction. How do you scale to $5 million in the maintenance business? That's like we're really trying to figure out.
PS 25% bottom line too. That's the most important thing too. So 25% bottom line is the people I want to follow. So if we're not hitting above 20, I respectfully probably need a different approach.
But has anyone got?
Come on, Judsky.
What do we got?
Lay it out.
What do we got here? It's got to be someone here.
I mean, I'll tell you how to build a $50 million company.
It's rock.
In the main,
Right
not in the asphalt maintenance and repair niche though. It has to be pavement asset management. It has to be. It cannot be asphalt maintenance and repair. However, I do believe that you could build 5 million easily with 5 $1 million companies that were sped out. You just have to build them. I think there's an opportunity for a licensing deal as well with ProSeal, just as a side note. Once you have your processes and systems completely laid out, I'm not talking franchise, but a licensing opportunity would make a lot of sense. That structure is pretty easily developed. You've already got your website. You've got the ability for people to start doing applications. I mean, you could have Asphalt Kingdom training at a high level from a sales side of things as well, and doing that coaching on a sales side of things to plug in as well. It doesn't just have to be ProSeal doing it. It can be ProSeal in partnership with, right? It's better to do it together than do it separately. But to me, what is this at the end of the day? You know, Jason Morales has $44.6 million in his pipeline. He's now at 1.4 million awarded since January. Denver, Colorado, didn't start his business till last August, knew nothing about asphalt before that. Now is featured on our super broker page. Did a full interview. You guys can watch the full length interview with that guy. Some of you have met him. You guys met him in Gaffney. The guy's a super cool cat, entrepreneurial mindset, badass. And you know what he wants for all this performance partners that he works with? You know what he wants for them? To make them more rich. You guys, if you're not strong at sales, you need to connect with sales superstars to be able to help you grow. Skylar, 5 million can be achieved next year, brother. Let's go.
I believe that. I really
Let's go.
genuinely believe that. It's just the right keys and high leverage opportunities, is the biggest thing. I think that's where, like, me personally, I'm struggling is like, I see 10 paths in front of me and I know I have, 150 days a season. And I'm like, man, I could spend 60 days on this path for a
fastest way
$2 return. I need the highest leverage opportunity.
You want the fastest way to 5 million?
It's healthy, 5 million. Yeah, 1,000%.
Hire 10 badass superstar A-player salespeople and go into a few states that are neighboring you, and then just build your crews to go execute on those projects and just keep your machine developing. But your sales, right? It's like today I got on the phone with a really badass company that literally do all the prospecting. They write all the sales scripts. They do all of the outbound appointment setting. They literally just nail this 300 calls a day for 3 reps. And all they do is outbound setting appointments on your schedules. And that's $8,000 a month in order to do that, just as a clear. Now, if you're going to hire, if you want to produce 150% more than that production, it's only 50% more. So it'd be 12 grand a month. I've got the connects to be able to actually grow and scale our businesses, each and every one of us. Again, the question is, how big and how fast do you want to go, guys? And if you do, let's talk, man. Let's talk. Let's go. Scott, you want 5 million? Let's go. Let's talk, baby. Let's go.
We're ready for rocket fuel. I mean, honestly,
let's go.
Transparently, guys, like, again, why I'm so interested in the national work, why we're building out the national crew is like, our operations and our local service area is so good. We're outpacing it. So like, I want to be partners with each and every one of you. Like I've been audited 3 times now locally. There's been so many different things that I went through, and I'm just like, man, like there's the next move and there's the thing. And it's like, I've never been at this point before. You know what I mean? So now it's time to go to the next point. And I've had a lot of strategic conversations, and I'm definitely ready to go. But yeah, sales to me is like important. We're really, 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 like really good on execution, like really good. We're pacing at still 50%, more like it's actually higher. It's like 84% growth, and we're working 28 hours a week still. Like it's insane.
Yeah. So for like 12 grand a month, you'd be able to hammer out, just to give you an idea, you'd be able to handle you'd 300 times that you 12,000 calls a month. You'd be able to more than that, 12,000 calls a month to prospect lists that are recession resistant account-based targets that you were nailing in 3 or 4 states that were all in your area. And you would have more appointments booked on your schedule for your sales team, your closing team, then you'd know what to do with. They would book those appointments. And you know what salespeople, like I'm talking about like high level closers, you know what they want? Qualified leads that are on the schedule, that are ready to move. Ask Matthias, man, there's nothing healthier or happier for Matthias or any of our sales team, but to go in the queue that is our hot queue inside of HubSpot and drilling down through that hot queue. Do you think that the queue that says needs profiling or discovery is as exciting to them? Or do you think the hot queue is? So the question again really is like, who here wants to get onto a group jam where we can speak about actually building out more of a machine business, and we'll go dive deep for a total of 90 minutes together. Who wants to do that? Because I'll go deep with you guys, man. If you guys want to really do it, let's do it. You got to raise your hand. If you want to do it, type your email. Just say I'm in, and then type your email in the chat if you want in on that. My team will get those chats. I believe that we get the history. Matthias, do you know if we get the history of the chats associated with the recordings?
I do not know. I don't have access to the bank of these videos, so I don't know if it actually does or not.
All right, cool.
But you have my email address. If you guys email me with that, and I will forward everything out to Judd.
Email Matthias. His email is on there. Matthias at asphaltkingdom.com. If you want to get on that jam, I'm not, just to be clear, like I'm not getting on there to do like 3 people, right? Like we're not going to do 3 people. Let's get on there and actually do it at a high level. So we're going to send this out afterwards, but I want to get like 10 people on that call. I'm going to limit it to 10. Like Skylar, I see you nodding your head. Let's go 10. Let's go deep, and let's really rock this thing for 90 minutes and explore how we can do this. Because Skylar, let me tell you something, bro, like on your side, The biggest challenge that you have right now, biggest challenge is just having the fucking work scheduled, like all of your calendars stacked so that all your performing assets, like all of your equipment is operating daily nonstop from morning till night.
Huge takeaway. That was one thing, UMR, unrealized monthly revenue. And it was one thing that he said to me. He's like, okay, he made me list my equipment, and he's like, okay, how many hours a week is this one working? How many hours a week is this one working? And he's like, I don't know. Sounds like you have a problem. You have a shit ton of money sitting in your shop. And he's like, sounds like there's money associated with that that's just not producing cash. And I was like, yeah, you're right. And he's like, kid, I don't know how many more times to tell you, you need more leads. You need more sales. It's time to go.
I've got the answer. I've got the solution. I found it today. Like the ultimate solution is today. I'll share it with you. It's badass.
Ready.
We'll do it on the meeting. We'll do it on the meeting. Actually, I'll share it probably before that if you guys got Matthias's email too. But guys, and just to be clear, that's not free. It's an investment. Remember what we were saying with John earlier, John Bublich on here. He was invest into your business, right? So I ask you, like, if you were going to go and test something and you're going to say, all right, I'm going to invest 10 grand to go and stack my schedule with qualified appointments with property management companies that have asked for the appointment with me, and it's on my schedule. If you were able to have 5 of those appointments booked on your schedule every single day, 20 days in a month, and you had 100 of those appointments that were booked, what would that look like for you at the end of the month with a conversion rate if you were converting those at 15%? What if it was 25%? 25 property management companies that might have 40 or 50 properties, because that's the profile that you've set for the outbound salespeople to be setting up those appointments. What's that? 40 properties attached to 100 of them is what, guys? 4,000? 4,000 properties that you might have access to? Like, are we hunting whales here? Or are we going out to hunt squirrels? That's the reality of it, right? I'm cool with the squirrels, man. They're fun, but shit. I want to make a lot of money doing this and be really, really excited when I'm older, man, and be like, fuck, you know, I put a lot of hard work into this thing. And now, sorry for my language, but like, I'm ready now to say that I don't want to be where I am. Like Judd Burdon does not want to be here in 1 year on June 12th, as I'm turning 46 years old, to say I'm in the same spot. Ain't happening. No way, Jose, guys. Raise your hand if you want to be in the same spot that you're in right now next year. Be honest. Be honest. Be honest, guys. Raise your hand if you truly want to do something beyond where you are right now.
Oh,
all right, cool.
Beyond. I thought you said name.
Yeah, but like,
Yeah.
If we want to do something different, right? We're investing into the roundtable is cool, but the question is, are you going to show up to that next meeting that would go a little bit deeper on how we can actually go there? What are we doing next? Who are we having a conversation with? Who's reaching out to Skylar, who just rocking, building his business? Who's reaching out to Coach Anthony? Who's reaching out to Coach Rob, Alex, Coring? Like, who's reaching out to each other, guys? You got all these email addresses at the bottom. Who here's reached out to Matt Phillips to ask him how he's growing his business, right? Chad growing his business, all of us, right? This is good stuff. All right, guys. One last conversation, then we're going to roll off of here. We're top of the hour. Anything that you'd like to share? By the way, one quick thing, guys, the sales power stack that we finished up last Thursday, we had some cool finishers, man. It was awesome to see. Michael Hood did all his follow-ups with me. He even closed a deal with me. That was badass. There he is in the background. He closed. I ended up saying, deal done. He's got a $500 Asphalt Kingdom credit because he followed the process and earned that $500 right out of closing that deal with me. He did what he was supposed to do, followed the dang process. There he goes. Look at, I love that. What do you think, Fred? Yeah, there he is. Cool, man.
We did well. We appreciate the training, and it's already paying off. You know, we're following that pathway, that leadership. So good looking out.
You did it, man. You put the time in and it's going to pay dividends to you. You did it. Cool. Coach Anthony, what's going on in the Michigan, buddy?
Oh, dude, I had a crazy week,
but some huge things are brewing. Some huge things are brewing. And the one nugget that I think we skipped over that you gave me a few months ago was when you're doing these when you're subcontracting jobs out and you're trying to broker deals, making sure that you're getting with the sub that you're going to use and have them give you exactly what they want for their sales process so that it's seamless and it's looked at as a real appetizing envelope of work, so that you're able to gather all of the details that they want to define the scope and all the things that they want. So you're basically asking them to train you as a salesperson in their company so that there's a seamless transition of that data transfer so that you can really make things move along quickly and it doesn't, it stays in their sequence.
Such an important thing, man. It's like, I say this too, like when we're building right now, I'm going to drop this link in here once I get it up, but it's like when I'm working with, and you guys have heard me say this too, but working with people who are in the brokerage side of the business specifically, like operating without a shovel, I say this, right? Like you cannot, as a super broker, as someone who's brokering work that's a marketing and sales machine, you cannot look at the people that you're subbing in as subcontractors. You have to look at them as performance partners. They have to be more than a subcontractor. Think about that. Who here agrees that when you hear subcontractor, it's just kind of like blah, like, right? It's not strong. When you're building performance partnerships with people, you need to make sure that you're having real solid conversations, asking deep questions, getting to know each other, shaking hands, giving a high five, seeing the inside of their business, letting them see the inside of your business, meshing that culture even if you can, because those are the ones that you're going to work with for years and years to come, and you're going to make hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions of dollars with. It's such an important thing, right? Like I'm going to bring in Dom, come on here for 1 second with us. But like this, what you're saying, Anthony, about the subs is so important, like having that clear communication, understanding truly exactly what their SOPs are, the way that they operate, their sales processes, and so on. Dom, you remember traveling out to Utah with Jake Nielsen and his wife, with Johnny not Johnny Bublich, sorry, Goulash, Johnny. and you guys went out there and you knew Jake prior to that, but you went out there and you guys became a team. And so can you talk about what that was like, different than, like, he didn't sub you in to do the work. You guys were partners on a project. And so just help us understand the depth of that, bro.
Sure, no problem. I missed the beginning of the conversation, but what are they talking
about? Performance partners, basically, like you're not, yeah, like if you're a super broker and you're just selling jobs, not just, if you're selling jobs like a marketing and sales powerhouse, you know, to see the people who are going to go out and execute on the work to service the jobs you've sold, to see them as a subcontractor is just kind of substandard. It doesn't even feel good, man. It's more along the lines of performance partnerships, and to get that mindset in the upper echelon to say, man, we're working together as partners on projects.
Yeah, thank you for clarifying that, and thank you for helping out. It's a different experience. If you're subcontracting somebody else out, you know, you're just hoping that they're going to, you know, execute the job, you know, well, and, you know, to your standards. But when you have a performance-based partner that comes out and actually you get to execute the job with them, like we're building a relationship. We're not only executing the job, but we're teaching you how to grow your business at the same time. We're teaching you the right systems and processes on how the job should get complete. So you're getting a huge, you know, a huge benefit from it. It's not just having somebody come to execute the job for you, and then after the job's done, you're left with, all right, I hope I can find someone else that can do this. You know, you're actually getting massive knowledge from it. Not only are you being taught the right systems and processes, not only do you have, you know, you're getting the infield training, but you're also, you know, you're creating a relationship that's a lot stronger than a subcontractor relationship.
Judd, that right there is the most important thing to understand. There's a question that just came in right now that said, what about trusting subs to actually do the job right? that have no experience in past, kind of why I'm hesitant to contact someone else to help. And yeah, it's a very valid question. So a question for you is, if somebody has no experience out there in the industry and they've just bought equipment and it's their first time job going out there to do that, are you willing to actually sell a job and have somebody go out to possibly execute it at a substandard level? I don't know about you, but I think you should be building a company that is going to operate with performance partners that are badass, that are going to be aligned with the way that your marketing and sales processes are. And for that guy who's just starting out, one day he'll get there, but he's either got to get the training. Maybe you can help him to get connected with some training so that he can level up to become somebody that you would sub in as a super broker. Like, I'll give you an example. Like, if Anthony right now decided that he was going to have somebody in a neighboring state go and build a division of Anthony's Asphalt, he's not just going to throw that guy into a neighboring state and say, hey, good luck, start from scratch and have a nice day. Anthony is going to go and he's going to have him ride with the crew. He's going to train him. He's going to coach him. He's going to teach him. He's going to get him to brush. He's going to do all those things. And then once the guy's set up, he's then going to move that guy over into a neighboring state with a salesperson, with a guy who knows how to do pavement assessments, a guy who knows how to close deals, and he has the crew that can go execute now. So I hope that answers the question, man, because frankly, if you're going to have somebody that's substandard executing on your work, and that's the result of your first jobs, man, that's not the way you want to roll.
One thing too, that I seen like the same guy there that asked that question a couple questions before, he talked about being priced out of his market. And I there's one thing, like, when you're selling jobs for me specifically or somebody else, a high performance partner, like, if you're getting priced out of your market, I'm not going to do work for you. Like, you need to provide enough value in the customer experience and have a strong enough selling skill, a strong enough brand, a strong enough knowledge to be able to sell at a premium price. Because I'm not coming out to do jobs at 10 cents a square foot, guys. Like, that's the reality of it too. Like, if you guys can't sell jobs at premium prices, we're not going to be able to help you. Like, you need to deliver the value. And again, it's where that duality comes in, and we kind of train and teach and show you how to use the brand and how to, you know, all of those things to put the pieces together to make it super attractive. But like, perspectively, it's, you can charge double. I promise you, probably everybody on this screen can charge double their market price and still get rich quick. Like, at the end of the day, you don't have wrapped trucks, you don't have branded logos, you don't have benefits, you don't have all of these things, because you want to know why? You're not charging enough, guys. You're not charging enough. It's not cool to make a couple grand at the end of the year and pay your laborers $15 an hour. It's shit. It's really shitty that you even allow that to happen in your company. You should be ashamed. You should really be ashamed. Like, the mission statement for me is all about my team, right? It's why I'm so passionate, because I want to have exits like this, not so I can get super rich. I want to have exits where I can make people millionaires in my company. That's my driving force. So like, until you get that servant mindhood and servant leadership too inside of it. I read the book Servant Leader 2 years ago. I didn't get it. It didn't make sense. But finally, you go through enough stuff and you realize that the lifeline of your business are your people, and everybody's rowing in the right direction. That's how you get rich, guys. Seriously.
I remember, yeah, wow, right? Wow. Wow. So I remember 21 years ago registering a domain name and being totally lost in the woods. I had no clue. I remember starting the asphalt maintenance business 25 years ago with a 5-gallon pail of sealer and a paint roller between my legs, and I had nobody to talk to. I had no roundtables. I had no coaches. I had no other business owners. I was alone, just trying to figure the shit out. In my head, if I could do 8 driveways a day at $250 a driveway, I could make $2 grand a day. And I'm like, I could make $2,000 a day. I didn't even take cost of goods or travel time or my diesel Jetta with the little wood trailer behind it. Like, I didn't take any of that into consideration. You know what I mean? Right, Tommy? Right?
It's so, Judd, it's so funny. Like, I remember when we first talked, and it's like, you're like, why are you doing this? And I'm like, It's for me to create a life better for me and everyone around me, right? And then like, you're like, wait, now I'm sitting here 7 years later, or, right? And like, it's like, holy crap, everything we're building right now is to make everyone's life around us better. And that's how we fuel our entire team. And that's how we fuel ourselves. And by doing that, it's creating massive, massive momentum and growth. And it's like between then and now, I get caught up a little bit? I did, because I got caught up in the money. I got caught up in that $2,000 a day, right? But when I broke out of that and I put myself around the right people and I understood actually how to build the life to create a better life for everybody around me. And let me tell you guys something, massive failure was associated with that. I'm not just going to sit here and say, oh, everything was great and I figured it out. No, massive failure was associated with that. And you know what? It was the best thing that ever happened. And now I could sit here today surrounded by amazing people, partnered up with one of the greatest people I've ever met. And here I am now I have the opportunity to actually do what we spoke about 7 years ago. Right? And that's the power of it, to understand all that struggle. Yeah, hundreds of thousands of dollars, whoop-de-doo. But now sitting here understanding how to build an empire, a 7-8 figure empire to change lives. Oh, Bubba, how you doing?
So check this out. Check this out. Everyone on here right now, I think we're saying we're committed to building our businesses and our future, and we're also committed to the industry, to bettering it, right? We're committed to building this industry. I wish there was 1,500 people on this Zoom session right now. I really do. But I can tell you one thing for sure, that we're going to keep doing this, and that drumbeat's going to continue. Live events will be full, doing exactly what we do, and we're going to keep pouring out. This industry right now, there's been this enormous amount of time where people have operated just doing what it is that they're comfortable operating. Just like we said, $2,000, 8 driveways. Like that's in our mind, that's as far as we can go. That's there. There's been a big market gap in our industry and in the service industry as a whole, HVAC, roofing, asphalt, everywhere. And it's marketing and sales powerhouses. People who are investing into building massive lead generation machines for the right kind of leads, and to be able to actually work a sales process that has massive impact on converting deals into lifelong accounts. Those marketing, that's why we're doing, I dropped a link in our chat. There's the super broker piece that's been missing from this industry. It's been missing. Sales superstars, man. I'm talking like superstar salespeople that go out there and they go out and they do all the lead acquisition. They do all the conversion aspects of this. But what they're missing, the super brokers, is what's been here for the last 50 years. Is the blue collar, us, the contractor that's out there operating and building a quality output on the projects that they're putting down. Dom is one of the most badass installers that I've ever seen of seal coat, from a brush application, anything. Like, he's one of the most badass guys that I've seen, but he was stuck doing a couple of grand a day, doing 8 driveways a day or whatever it was. But if Dom had on his schedule 150,000 square foot lots that he could go execute on, then it would make sense for him to go and do those jobs and do those magnificent installs, and he could hire staff and everything else because his calendar was fully booked. You see, there's people who want to go operate and just go do the jobs. And then there's other people that want to build marketing and sales powerhouses. And I think that really filling this gap, this void that's existed, is going to help to really improve the industry, because I think we can all agree that there's not enough people out there marketing and selling high quality jobs nationally to be able to fill the network's plate with being able to execute on those jobs. I think we can agree there's more asphalt than we all know what to do with, for sure. And for those of you that don't want to do the marketing and sales only, and you want to self-perform, all the best, but you're only going to be able to self-perform with the equipment that you have based upon the number of working days you have in a season, which means you're going to have to sub all that extra work out to other people to perform, and they become your partners, period. Just like Anthony is doing. Right? Like, Anthony, you can't go pave jobs, man. You don't have paving equipment, dude.
No, I love how you always say that, like, these guys don't own a shovel. I'm selling paving jobs. I don't own a paver. But anytime that anyone says anything to me about asphalt, any service, I say, absolutely, I can do that. Absolutely, I can do that. Knowing that someone in my network has the ability to do that. We quoted a 400,000 square foot chip and seal project for a neighborhood that I seal coated. One time I seal coated it, actually 2 times I seal coated it with Stephanie alone. Just the 2 of us, we did 400,000 square feet. But that neighborhood is getting chip sealed, and we were able to provide a proposal for that. So, and I don't even know how to chip seal. Like, I understand the process, but I don't even know how to. So the ability is there. One thing I wanted to say to tie back to what Skylar said is, when he talked about doubling your rates, there's a lot of people, and the first thing they think is, I can't do that. And you're right. You'll never do it, because you just said you can't. You just said it. But Skylar knows it was a difficult thing to get himself over that hump. And now he's like, bullshit, I'll never go out for fucking 20 cents or whatever it is, pardon my language, right? But he's like, give me 40 cents, give me 50 cents, I'll send my guys out there. I asked him, I said, what revenue are you guys turning around in a day right now? And I was blown away, because he's killing it. You guys are absolutely crushing it, because the belief and the conviction is there. And it's magnetic, man. You need to pour this into everyone.
It's a passion, man. It's crazy. Like, exactly like you're saying, it's magnetic. The opportunities, when it's just like you stack one and then another and another. And then it's just like, it happens so quick. Now we have the local guys. Like, I just got a text this morning, a new local guy. He's like, hey man, I seen you posted a sales position. Like, I've been seal coating on the weekends. Like, I'd just rather sell for you. And I'm like, sick, cool. Yeah, we'll have a conversation. Talk to you next week. Like, the local competition, that was charging the 10 cents, the 15 cents. They're like getting squeezed out of profit. And they're like, well, we had a good 25-year run, boys, shut her down. And their businesses are closing. And like, I don't want to say it's contributed at all to me. It didn't all happen instantly, but I can definitely tell you the gas has been pressed for the past 4 years. Like, I've been pushing tight against them. You know what I mean? Like, so.
Let's grow. Let's go.
Remember that you don't like, I always try to use this analogy. You don't go to McDonald's and offer them $20 for a cheeseburger, because that's not the menu price. But your contract is your menu. And unless you put that price on there of what you're demanding for your service, no one's going to pay you. So if you tell them it's 10 cents, they're not going to say, you know what, we should really be giving you like 25 cents a square foot. So you've got to go out there with the intentionality of actually getting it by pricing it that way, so that you can actually go out and get it when you do the installation.
100%. And Anthony, I couldn't agree with you. And at the end of the day, like, even like Judd said, like, I can go out and I can be the best seal coater and seal coat 1 million square feet, but without a sales and marketing team behind you, without the most badass sales and marketing team behind you, you can't do it. You cannot do it. You can't do it. It doesn't exist.
Now you're gonna be fighting. You'll be fighting against the grain the whole time. If you don't have marketing and sales in your business that is needed, you will be struggling for years to come until you have that solution. I guarantee it. Guys, or you have a partner to do it.
I watched a bell curve this past couple days, and again, this kid that created the AI technology, he's 28, on track to do $30 million this year. And another guy I sat with for 15 minutes, Sebastian, super, super cool cat. Everybody's super young, like amazingly smart. He listens to everything on 3x speed, bro. It is the way that boy moves. It is insane. But so he's showing me this bell curve, and he's like, Skylar, look, this is the sales process. He's like, there's the direct correlation. I bet you that everybody on this screen, maybe not some of the internal, coaches and sales teams and things like that, because they have enough of the right people and they went through the coaching and thing. But like, I bet you a lot of guys, the correlation between time spent with customer and money and conversion rate is like a rocket ship at 90 minutes. I went out to a sales call today, and I completely, like, everything was in my head because it was so fresh. And I'm just sitting there and I'm like, I'm going to talk about the sale just so I can break the ice a little bit. And then I'm going to go completely and see how far I can take them off into left field and talk about random things with open-ended questions so they can talk, because nobody really wants to listen to you anymore because all we do is consume. So I sat there and we're talking about their camp upstate. We're talking about bears. We're talking about deer. We're talking about this. An hour and 45 minutes comes by finally, and the conversation starts slowing down a little bit. I was like, oh, by the way, do you want to proceed with this $15,000 driveway, an epoxy driveway that we're installing over concrete? They're like, oh yeah, by the way, yeah, absolutely. They signed right there on the spot. Like, guys, that is the opportunity. Who's getting $8 and $9 a square foot to do driveways? You know, like there's opportunity everywhere when you're looking for it.
You have to hunt it relentlessly. But I'll tell you, like when you hunt it relentlessly out of the gate and you start to get them landed, it's like the NBA Jam video game. For those of you that remember, it's like, he's on fire, you know, and they can just like jump halfway down the court and slam dunk. You guys remember that?
Oh,
I mean, that's badass, man. I'll tell you,
I still have that game.
Here's one more game I'm going to build into our mindset, right? As an example, you guys ever play Super Mario Kart? Remember that ghost that you're chasing all the time?
Yeah.
Let me ask you something, man. Are you chasing your own ghost, your own previous best lap? Are you chasing your previous best lap? Or are you chasing someone else's who's like 10 years ahead of you, who is, and I'm not saying 10 years, I'm saying 10 times ahead of you. Are you chasing them? Let's go. For those of you that want to work with someone and people who have actually built tremendous business magnitude in a direction of more success, if you guys want to be on that 90-minute call, by the way, it's free. Just free. Make sure you email Matthias, get on the list. I'm capping it at 10 people, including coaches. So coaches too, your count, I'm a count. So we've got me plus 9. That's it.
Guys,
So,
it's a no-brainer. I mean, you got Anthony
get on.
Asphalt, he's like, he won't say it, but he's blowing
Let's
up
go
right now, and he's doing things that are absolutely incredible. You got me and Skylar. You got Operation Guru. You got a kid who's like this, like he's like it's. I can't.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Right? It's just like it's mind-boggling the business this kid knows. Like I'm telling you right now, I can't wait to get there because I love being around the people that I'm around to do it. Guys, get there.
Let's go.
And let's level up together.
Let's go. Let's go. By the way, I just want to give a huge shout out to the AK coaching team. I'm just going to do a full plug right now. I like literally was going through some content today of like you guys. And I'll just say this, man, we've got the best, most advanced, badass coaching team that ever exists on planet Earth in this industry. And we're going to keep smashing it out of the park. And we're going to keep powering forward and being the lighthouses that we know we are. Skylar, I know what's on your forearm. I know what we all stand for. It's exactly what it is that we truly care about, man. Be a lighthouse to this world. Help people grow. Let's go, everyone. Everybody have a good night tonight. You get some good golden nuggets. Good round table, guys. Cool. Email Matthias if you want in on that one. If it's overbooked, don't worry. We'll probably have one coming up, but I can't guarantee it. Hope to see you guys there. Looking forward to seeing you next week, guys. Same time, same place, right here on the AK Roundtable. Peace out, guys. Let's go. Let's go.
Appreciate it, fellas. Love you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.